Good day, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so I thought I'd be playing a bit today and seeing that we're testing the internet connection as well. Signify, my internet guys, have upgraded my entire system. So thank you, Johan and team. You guys rock, man. I will be featuring them on-off during the course just to say thank you. Yeah. If anyone is in my area and you're looking for an internet service provider with a stable freaking connection, yeah, just give me a shout out and I will let you guys in on a little secret. Signify. Yeah. Johan, his team, they rock, man. We've got guys popping in. Harde Jager, Mark, how's it going, gentlemen? All right. So what we're going to be doing today is playing. Yeah. Oh, I'm busy working. So as you can see, I've got a little thingy that I can, either you want to see my mug or you don't. I'm working on this. And that's it. Let me just get this dagger blade in here. Right, so that's the dagger blade. That goes on there. Alrighty. Okay, let me just get you guys a bit of a better view here. Yeah. So that sits on there, and then this lot pops in there. Yeah, and I'm not going to assemble the entire thing now, but I mean, you get the idea. Yeah. So what I've started doing was cutting little reliefs in there. So I want a little pattern going around. So that's what we're doing. And I thought, seeing that I am, yeah. So I did the bronze on this. Let me just get my mug out of there. I did the bronze on this yesterday. So the entire piece in bronze, the guys have been following the photos, following the build on Instagram. You would have seen this. Facebook as well. So this was one bronze piece. I then separated this morning and then cut those little recesses in. Yeah, so the wood actually sits in them. And for the guys that have been following my Instagram, you would have seen me lose my shit about the price on this Hawaiian koa. So that's $85 worth of handle material. South African rands, it's about $1,500 worth of wood. But it is beautiful. But I did stain it ever so slightly just to get it a bit darker. Yeah. So you've got some secret duper. But it's not really. It is just wood stain. Not that it actually did much. It added a third color. So the real light brown, that brought that in. Okay, so I'm going to bring you guys back down here. On to... Oh, come on, left is right, right is left. There. Because I'm going to be working right there. Yeah, but I do want that one in there as well. So that when I actually talk, you can actually see me. Yeah, so you're not just talking to I'm not talking to my freaking bench pick. And there's a load of guys on here. Sorry, guys, I haven't been paying attention. Mark said, how's it going, man? Hey, brother. Welcome. Tim Brown is in the house. Craig, Phil. Fred, how's it going, brother? Dude, I don't want to make footers anymore. I appreciate it, but the footers are that's a crap ass full of work, man. Maple House Knives, how's it going? Thank you, brother. Johnny, thank you, man. That is appreciated. John, yeah, man, look at the hardware and the materials and the whole thing. And even if you throw in your kit, blah, 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 there's no accounting for your time. Yeah. Now, I don't charge for the time that I spend on my pieces. But then also, I've spent quite a bit. Thanks, brother. I spent quite a bit of time trying to focus on making unique pieces. Yeah. And that's what I've been doing over the last what's it now? 8-9 weeks. Crap. I think my internet connection just went a bit dodgy up. like I mentioned, the guys are working on it, yeah? And I've been doing a load of speed tests for them today. And I'm saying, boys, I am now going to start playing, yeah? Sorry. So they can test, they can do whatever. If the system cuts out, it cuts out, yeah? But let me get cracking on this. All right, so first off, I need my eyes. Optimizer. Standard set. My dad was saying that if you can't see, well, then you can't see. Yeah. Dion, how's it going, man? Kraken, thanks, buddy. That's appreciated, man. Mornay. Oh, thanks, brother. All right, so let's get cracking. So I have got a 5.4 millimeter chainsaw file. It is not a fat file, but it is a fat handle. This is a file out here in Brits, locally made. It works like an absolute charm. Comes in a packet of 2. Let's see if I've got a spare packet here. I should have one. A file. Yeah, that's what it looks like. So it's a 5.55 millimeter. There we go. 2 of them. That's like $100, man. Yeah, done. So always have spare. So I am now cutting. You can see that I've already cut the right hand. So I've got this scribe line straight down the center here, quarters, and now I am just filing to the left and right of that scribe line. So I've done the right hands, the easies. So start off with a pull back, so you create a recess, then it cuts easier on the going forward stroke. Yeah. And as I'm cutting, I am adding pressure to the left or to the right, moving my file exactly where I want it to cut. And obviously I'm not going balls to the wall. I've got my finger on the back there so that I'm ensuring that I cannot cut the opposing side. And files only cut on the forward stroke. Well, that's what guys will tell you. These are chainsaw files, so they don't give a crap, right? They actually cut in both directions. And I've got a little scribe line for the depth that I'm going in. That's good. So you can see how it cuts just on the backstroke. But the main idea here is to keep your work stable. You can see my arm jumping every now and then. Don't worry. It does that. It's nervous. Yeah? It's afraid I'm going to stab it with a... Okay. My wife and the kids went down to the river on my property to go and look for snares, as we had a pregnant kudu and calf caught in a snare last week. So now it's snare hunts, man. Fucking poachers. Telling you, if you're a poacher and I find you on my property, I will shoot you and then ask questions. Yeah? It's easy as that. And now you can see me getting windgat is the term. Is the term. And it's around about here every time where I fuck up. just when you reckon, yeah, man, I can go balls to the wall. And as I get closer to my final cut, I lower my file to not get an angled cut, which I did not do on this one. I did. Like my ass. Did I do it on this one? No, I did not. Did I do it on that one? Well, I did now. That is starting to look like a bit of a crown, and I don't know if that's the idea I had. Well, I didn't have an idea. So the detail on this handle I never drew in. Yeah. Where's the sketch? Oh crap. I don't know. Oh, it's still at the lathe. So I never drew the detail, this type of detail on my sketch. I just drew the handle, knew what I wanted, and I went and made it, which was up to that point there. Okay. So then, in doing this, I thought, well, I wanted to engrave on there. But then, no, I don't want to go and spend more time on this thing. And I want to get this project done. So I am opting for not fancy filing, but a bit of a smoother transition, a bit more of an exciting transition. Nice. Okay, so now I can clean out the burr on the inside, and that's all I was a little half-round needle file, and I'm just scraping out the burr on the back. Because if you don't do that, obviously it's going to scratch the wood, and I don't want to do that, because then I need to go and friggin' sand the wood again. Yeah, we don't want to do that. Because I've done that already. Just making sure that I've got everything. All right, and as per normal, little index mark. And same on there, little index mark, so that always shows me up. Oh yeah, man, that is it. That is it. Now my double line bends the skin at the bottom. Where's my hand? That skin down here. Yeah, it's got a center stitch line, and the tip of the dagger is currently sitting on that and in my stomach. So as long as no one jumps over my bench and stubs this thing, I'll be cool. So don't worry about that. Yeah. That transition, I think, is looking cool, man. I think that is looking cool. So let me just assemble this thing for the 5 millionth friggin' time. Let's do that. So I'm using the twist to compress and make sure that that is pushed in all the way, but I don't want to lock it up just yet, as things aren't absolutely perfectly centered yet. And obviously you can see there's a bit of play on this section there. You see that? So that still needs to be peened on the inside and then re-driven over, which will make it sit exactly there. And now I've gone and bent that as well. Yep. Okay, so that should be it. Yeah, man, I think that'll do the trick. That'll definitely do the trick. Yeah. I definitely think so. What do you reckon? I reckon that'll do it. Yeah, that'll do the trick. Now you see that little flat spot there. That little flat spot there. Now we need to do something with that. All right, so let's bring this one back in. So I can't see squat, man. Yeah, so that little flat spot there. So we've got 4 of them now. Yeah, let's just take this thing apart again. And another reason you've got a bench or a skin at the bottom of your bench for if you drop something, knock something off, for instance, it's not on the floor. You just reach it and done. Yeah. So that's out of the way. Now pull that off. That's a tight fit. We like tight fits. Okay, so now I'm thinking small little needle file. Where we got lucky fish. So that's a brand new oak. I've never used this one. Brand spanking new. Obviously, the further up the file I work, the bigger the diameter becomes. Now, I don't want to make it too big yet. I just want to connect the 2 tips. Moving over to the next one. Because I can always come in with my big round file and nudge these 2 spaces closer. I should have actually measured them and made sure that all of them are exactly the same size before start cutting. These ones, well, you know what? I've winged so much on this bloody thing. Let's just wing that. So we'll get your comments again in a moment. Because I know for a fact we're going to seriously battle to get that top part off. And then, so there's a rough cut, that's good. Once again, just cleaning up the inside. I'm liking that. I am liking that a lot better than just the plain transition. Stick that on there. Kinda in its place. I want to put it onto the sorry, that's just a rawhide mallet. And as you can see, I'm just driving it down now. Just move this so you can actually see what the hell I'm doing. Okay, so that's my rawhide mallet, and I'm just driving it down, making sure that I've got a perfect seed. So if I'm now looking into the tang hole, I'm looking to make sure that the wood is actually seeding and making contact flush with the bronze piece. Yeah. So what that means is if I can now go and do more deep relief carving on that, but I'm liking the spacing. Yeah. So that's good for now, man. That's good for now. Now, she pokes you. All right, so that one's out of the way. Now to get this baby off. Oh, well, apparently that wasn't much of an issue. There we go. And I so wished I had mammoth molar for this thing. I do have, but it's not thick enough. It's thick enough for that piece there, yeah, for that there, but not for the knob part of it, which is sad. And even that, the koa that I had is also not thick enough. That should be a 36 mil diameter, and currently it's a 30. So, but you know what? This is what I have. So. Okay, so I've already cleaned up the inside of this. Let's get you in here. You see that? So I've already cleaned up the inside of that surface. It's all nice and clean. That's actually way better than what is actually needed. Okay, so, but anyway, now I need to go find the split marks. Just make sure that all of them is there. Excuse me. So there's my first one, second, third, fourth. Okay, so all of them is clear. Oh, I can actually see them. So might have to adjust my little light. But then before we do this, let's grab some comments here. Okay, let's see who's in the house with me. Yeah, man. Optivisors are freaking awesome. Mornay, how's it going, buddy? Thanks, man. Tim, yeah, you do get cramps in your left hand if you're holding it in weird and wonderful angles. But then supporting your elbow on the bench. Let's just see if I can do that. This is going to show my bench. Yes, so supporting your elbow while working and holding onto something. For instance, supporting your elbow and holding on. Come on. Yeah. So having your elbow supported and then holding onto something is better than trying to do this where you're lying in and you're bending your back. So that there keeps your back straight, and that helps a lot with cramps in your hands. I've been told that my cramping up issue is actually to do with my neck, of all things. Yeah. So, don't know, dude. There's always an underlying thing somewhere if you speak to a doctor. I don't know. But yes, I do cramp up. Sam, how's it going, buddy? Thanks, man. It's appreciated. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Steve, how's it going, buddy? B&B. Thanks, brother. That's appreciated, man. Tony, how's it going, brother? Thank you guys are... Hey, Bob. Who the hell's Bob? Where's Bob? I missed Bob. Bob, welcome. I think it's B&B. Yeah? Yeah. Bob and Bob's Forge. Come on, Sam. Bob, let me know the story behind that. Yeah? Okay, so I'm going to continue cutting. Yeah? Any special requests? I know that people were wanting me to do a freaking song and dance the other day. Most important thing. Yeah? Don't fuck up. Extremely important, especially if you've spent like 60 odd hours on a piece and the blade isn't even heat treated yet. Don't. So I'm now starting to regret that I didn't do this blade in Damascus, man. Seriously. Joe, buddy. That's a good old mate, right? Myself and Joe go back to, what's it, Joe? 93, right? Yeah, man. So Joe's currently in Canada. Damn it. And he's threatening to delete his Facebook profile. Oh, you guys can't see, so let me just get the... There we go. I'm busy filing again. So this one, the cuts are going to be slightly deeper. So the drawback with these files and bronze is you start getting chittering, like you heard there, and then that vibration causes a thread cutting effect on the filing. So we just have to go in after the fact and clean all of those up. And then I should do left, right, left, right. Mix it up a bit, yeah. Not an issue. Oh, I fucked up. Okay. There was a second dodgy line, so now I need to measure. Damn it! Luckily I caught that. So I'll show you what I did here. So if it'll pick it up. Yeah. Okay, so there's my quarter split line. Yeah. And see where I did the tip? There was a little line there, which I... so pay attention, kids. All right, so now we just bring that line down. Grab the vernier. Measure the offset, which is exactly 2 millimeters. And then go knock everything on 2 millimeters. It's just stupid. Now I need to make sure that I knocked it on the right fucking direction. Double check. Double check. That's 2 mil. Yeah. Find a proper freaking scribe. Okay, crisis averted. So as long as I don't screw up again. What the hell is this, dude? Yeah, that does do it. That does help, brother. Thank you very much. How's it going, gentlemen? Okay, so BNB. Excellent. Bew and Bew. Brother, that's cool, man. That is really, really, really cool. Morning, guys. Sammy. All right, so if any of you guys have got me on WhatsApp and you want to come play, you are more than welcome. Yeah. Okay, so now the all important don't screw up again. So I'm constantly having to push my pressure either left or right to make sure that I don't cut that little tip shorter. It also helps if you make sure that your bench peg is actually freaking properly tightened. Oh, hell yes. I'm hearing my phone going absolutely mad here. What's up, guys? Yeah, dude. It's my room, I'll break it. Saying what? You guys are funny. Sam, buddy, I don't know how you're going to sponsor that one. Nothing weird after Alex been doing for a couple of months. Dude, just let me know whether I need to do a PG rating on this, all right? Shark, how's it going, brother? I need to go do another coffee, man. So, let me know what are you guys up to? Yeah, anyone have got any weird and wonderful questions? Not yet. We do have 3 out of the 4 little sections done. So 3 out of the little 4 sections are done. Yeah. So now I really want a cigarette, man. Okay, let me finish this first. Yeah. Cup of coffee. Set up the cameras. And let's do that last piece. Ah! Almost. Don't screw up now. So if anyone know of a blues / not jazz, blues, yeah, old-fashioned blues playlist on Spotify that is royalty free, please let me know, yeah, because you guys ain't saying much. Hold on, we're recapping stuff now. Sam's got a question. Sam, the steel on this one is 1070. Yeah. So I'll be doing a humble on that one. Thanks, brother. Coffee. Yeah, buddy. Richard, how's it going, buddy? So do a shout out. Tell me where you guys from? Yeah, man. That is just me pressing before I start filing. Yeah. It's now 5:10 in the afternoon, and I've been at it since like 7. Not really. I think I got into the shop just after 8 this morning. Ed, yeah, buddy. You know that when I screw up, I tried to do it like well, eh? Yeah. So if you're going to screw up, you might as well do it properly. Mr. Smith, how's it going, my partner in crime? Upstate New York. There's quite a few Smiths in New York, man. Virginia. Yeah. Phoenix, Arizona. Yeah, buddy. One of my clients out there. Arizona Desert Ironwood LLC. Have you checked their wood? Dude. Damn, man. So if you're ever in need of a brooch, yeah, the handle brooch, that one there. Dang, dang, dang. So making all of those holes in hidden tangs. Yeah, if you ever need one of these guys, heat up Arizona Desert Ironwood. They have got stock of me brooch. Who else is there? Jelly Joburg, you have it, dude. You know it, buddy. You know it, man. Who is it? Isle of Wight. I've got no idea. Australia, man. I'm Stu. I'm from South Africa. Stu has got a problem. He likes playing with sharp and pointy things. He does not like it when his wife catches him playing with sharp and pointy things because she never wants to play with. And that's the only thing I'm going to say about that. Yeah. Well, I've got the same problem. Kendall. Yeah, man. Kendall, Washington, USA. Yeah, buddy, go and check them out. Some of the coolest freaking woods out there. As desert ironwood, yeah, proper. From burl to like really smooth, just straight grains, beautiful colors. Louisiana, yeah, man. Brother, Tony, you need to go and Louisiana. Steve, remind me, where's African Custom Knives? It's in Louisiana. Baton Rouge. In Baton Rouge, there's a company called African Custom Knives, run by two brothers, Nathan and Nolan Rainerson. Two really cool guys. If you're ever in Baton Rouge, brother, go check them out. Richard, how's it going, buddy? I want to say yes and I want to say no. Is there going to be a YouTube tutorial on how I do my dagger step by step? I've done a dagger grinding video. I've done a fluting video. I've done a wired inlay video. Everything's on the channel. If I'm going to do, I don't know. I just hate the fucking editing part of things. That's why I do live. The guys that watch. The guys that don't watch, no skin off my back. Eh? The YouTube channel started off as a repository for information regarding knife making way before we had all these clever knife making channels. So it's always been that. Yeah. At one point, I'm thinking, maybe I can make money out of this and become a YouTuber. Fuck no. No. You see this face? This is a face for radio. So, no. Will there be one? Probably. I was thinking of doing the next dagger as a real-time build. Yeah. So I'm not going to do as intricate as this. I'm estimating about a 16-hour build. And then I'll spend like 2 hours a day and broadcast live only working on that single piece. But as far as a tutorial goes, no, I'm not going to show you how to grind a dagger. I've done that. So it'll be a ride along. Yeah. Let me know if you guys are interested in that. But, well, whether you're not are interested or not, it's going to fucking happen. It's my channel. I can do what I want. Robert, how's it going, buddy? Robert is a cool guy. I've lost Robert now. There you go. Robert there is a cool fucking guy. Sense of humor. Man, he's giving me crap on Instagram. Every single post. Well, not really the post, the stories. Yeah, buddy. Go and pop in. When you see them again, just go up the head and say, that's from Niels. Yeah. But don't do it hard. I like them. Yeah. Or maybe just walk up to them and go, "Wah!" and just say, that is a scare from Africa. And they'll pretty much know who that's from. All right. So, Brad, thanks, man. Okay. So I think it's time I now decide what I'm going to do with this one. So we cut. Let's go in there. Yeah. So we cut on the previous one. So those are the 5.5, 5.5. Those are little nibs. That's my move it along thing. Now in here we put about a 3 mil on the other one, which was a really small little detail. Yeah, so we do that. Small little detail. Which now means I'll probably have to go and increase this radius quite substantially to be able to do a little small one in there and keep the same kind of thing going. Does that make sense? I think it should. Okay, so let me start measuring. It's not going to be precise science, this. It's more of a winging it thing. So we can go from the tip, on that little tip, to an about center. I just want to say that I've kind of given it some thought. On that to that. It'll also give me a very clear indicator on how evenly these things are spaced. Oh, on that one, I'm half a ball out. Damn it. The other two was perfect. Now what the fuck happened there? But don't worry, I won't tell anyone if you don't. So 2 of them perfect, 2 of them not. But then we fudge it. That's the beauty of the system. Yeah. When you make the rules, you can break the rules. Well, you need rules to be able to be enforced first. Yeah. Then we're going to take the small one. Then we're going to dive in there. Over to the right over some bush. To the right there. Up to the first line. First line. Oh, crap. I just hit my head. I'm going to move this camera out a bit. How's that? So what I'm actually doing is, yes, I scribed those little lines, but all I'm doing is I'm watching the width on this and that, and just adding pressure to the left or to the right to just keep it kind of centered. And then dropping past the bloody line, so then I have to go back to all the other ones and drop that past the line as well. Stupid ass. So now you can see I'm off center. So now I'm going to push it over to the right. And now I'm back in center. Now I'm off to the right. And there we go. That should be center. Is that? Yeah, that's good. Making sure that all those depths are the same. Now I'm going to do that a bit more. There we go. And that one can do a little bit more. There we go. Right, so all I now need to do is find a file that is bigger than that one, bigger than the 5.5, so that I can blend that in up to that line there. Or am I just going to fudge it? Do I have any larger ones? I don't have any large ones. So let's do a half round here. There's an oblong. Will that do it? That radius is too big. Half round, half round, half round. Where the hell's a half round when you need one? I have one here. That's why I can't find it. It's in the skin. All right, so which one are we working? We are working this one here. This is really not a nice file. That is really not a nice file. So yes, you saw that. If you don't like the file, you break the fucking thing. Get away with it. Open a new packet. These things are so friggin' cheap. There you go. New packet. A file. Done. Yeah. Little set needle files. It's 10 pieces. That's going to set you back $200, 200 Rand, and 18 to 1 to the dollar. That's nothing. That's like freaking cents. Oh, that's a lot better. I think I should actually do this with the chainsaw file. That's going to be a lot quicker. Hold on. So this is my working benchman, right? So for cutting and filing and sawing and but I need something that's flatter. I'm just reaching over to my other bench. So there is just a flat. I haven't done a V in it. Yeah, so that's my working bench peg. This is one that's uncut. So all I want is that bit more of a flat area. So normally this is like a sawing, piercing setup, and you would release that and work more at an angle like this, which is much more natural. But I want this funking thing flat. Yeah? And these bench anvils or bench peg anvils are freaking brilliant. They are cheap. They are. You're only going to buy one. I mean, this one I bought. I can't even tell you when the Dead Sea was still sick. 500,000 years ago. And I recently bought one for my second bench, which is sitting right next to this one. And they work, man. And they're cheap. I can't remember. I think it's $300. 300 South African rods. So any questions? Richard, brother, let me just finish this thing, and I'm going to keep that comment on screen, right? And then I'll go over and I'll grab the modular system and I'll quickly explain how that goes, how that works. There's quite a fair bit. There's a fair bit of interest in that. So I now need to decide what I'm going to package with it. Am I just letting it go as is, or am I going to do different modules? I don't know. Am I going to enhance in certain areas and take away on others? I don't know. Some of the guys were crying about cross sections, and if I have to explain to you kind of what cross section is on a blade, then I don't know. Then maybe the system is not for you. Well, not for you, not for you. I'm talking to myself. Yeah. So I don't know how much detail I'm going to add in. I've been working on this thing, and it's very much been for myself for quite a bit of time. I'd say I've been working on that thing for maybe 2.5 years. On, off, of course, not full time. Let's put this thing together. Yeah, let's do this. Do this. All right, so let's take that, stick that on there. We can take this oak off out of the way, and we're going to put that baby goes in there. Top one goes in there. This oak I haven't indexed yet, so it can pretty much go anyway. Did I clean it out? No, I did not. So let me clean it out first, yeah. And then one of these beautiful days, I'll be able to take this entire setup mobile. So then we can take a multi-camera rig and go and visit other knife makers. Yeah. Well, once government allows us to, when lockdown is over, COVID, not COVID. My wife is keep on telling me it's not COVID, it's COVID. COVID. The bug. Yeah. Once that is done. Over, fucking done with. Then maybe we can make a plan and go and visit some peeps again. Yeah. Slap that one on there and that one on there. I'm not going to do final alignment. We're just going to nip it up. I'm liking that. Okay, well, now I can do small little fine lines. So next step on this is to add a bit more detail. Yeah. So where the hell's the camera? Come on, left is right, right is left. Still getting hellishly confused with this lot. Okay, so when I say more detail and this thing is poking me in the stomach, let me just get my skin up here. Right, see that little line there? No, you can't. See that little line there? Yeah. So that I want to add in here as well. So either one or just two little lines, and then same thing on that line there. Pluck. Maybe a second one in there. Don't know yet. I don't know yet. Because that is just too much flat area with nothing happening on it. It's just too much. The only other two areas with that on, so area equivalent or greater than that. Oh crap, you're not on camera, brother. So the only other element, we'll repeat that there. So that little hubbucky is a greater surface area than that. This here, but see, all of this is broken with a line in the middle where that is not. So that will look weird. So aside from trying to go and center these up and then do facets, which is not a bad idea, which is what my original idea was, to facet all of those, I don't want to do that. Yeah. So breaking that in a ratio, in other words, keep that one, and then in the middle, so two lines there. We've got one side that's broader than the other, and then same thing here. That one there can just have a center, so it won't even look odd if I just have a single line there and two lines at the top. I think I might just do that. Okay, but that was it for this. All right, so Richard, to get to you and that question on the modular system, let me go get it. Hold on. Sorry, I've got it placed out on the office side of things. Alrighty. So this is it. People are wanting a book. This is not a book. Yeah, this is it. It'll be a PDF. I will probably have one or two printed by my local printing company, just so that I have one in a hard copy for myself. But every single time I need this, I just print a copy. Yeah, or I just print the specific page that I need in it. So, aside from the funky design cover, it starts off with ratios and how I use the Fibonacci sequence to explain and get to the ratios. Yeah, and that's the Fibonacci spiral, also referred to as the golden spiral, but the golden spiral is much more precise than the Fibonacci is. So this is just an it's an assumed spiral. Yeah. So the guys that really want to get technical, I am getting really, really fucking technical in what this is and how it applies to ratio. And then how I apply it onto my general daggers. Yeah. So how do I come up with the lengths of the handles, the width of the quillins? So the width here, the length there, and what the handle to blade ratio is, blah, 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 blah. But a lot of guys are using these Fibonacci calipers. You know, those 3-prong calipers, and you open it up and it gives you the perfect aspect ratio calipers. And thinking that they're going to just open this thing up and the handle is going to be the one side and the blade is going to be the other. Fuck no, man. Damn it. All right, so if you don't know, I actually studied art. Yeah. Then went into graphic design, then into web design development, databases development, coding, then project management. Then I started my own consulting firm, blah, 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 and then started making knives. So I do have a background in design. So aside from that, you've got how everything fits, right? And then I thought, well, let's make it so that my 13-year-old can design a bit dagger, right? And he's been playing around. And I've actually got one of his designs here. Sorry, I'm just going to try to find it. Where's it? There's his. That's his design that he came up with. 13 years old, using the system. Yeah. 2 minutes worth of this is how you use it. Done. That's it. Then, this is one that I'm going to make still. Also designed on the system. Yeah. All right, so how this works is it is really freaking stupidly simple. You've got a basic blade length. Yeah, you can make it longer, you can make it shorter. It's your dagger. Yeah? There is no fucking rules when they're just between you and me. There is no rules. So you've got a basic blade. The top blade is the basic design. The next 4 is variations on the plunge. Done. The bottom one will always include a fuller. Yeah, so blade shape 1, 4 variations. Well, 5 variations. Yeah, square, little fuller, and then you still get the 90-degree, but a fuller plunge cut. But I don't like it, so I'll never make it because I don't like it. So it's not in the drawings. Then I have got a second one. So the blade variations, in other words, fullers are now exactly the same. But what you'll notice is that from there to the back, there are little swept wings. And in any of these, I will always show the original blade geometry in a dotted line underneath it. So you can see how that blade varies from the original. Yeah. And then so that is the only variation there. Then taking that same principle and then coming up with a geometry correct leaf blade. Yeah. So you want to make your elven dagger. There we go. And then you can obviously go and apply the 4. So there's one basic blade design with then 3 subsequent variations to it. Okay. Then just quill and block. So if we take a dagger, we've now sorted a blade. You've decided the blade and you've taken a piece of paper. You've taken, say for instance, you want to use that blade, which is the 3rd leaf blade. You can either cut this thing out, all right, or you can put this down and trace this onto your design. Right. Then the next logical step, designing from the bottom upwards, is the quill and block. Yeah, quill and block is this little block. Let me just get the other camera. Sorry. Quill and block is that here. That's the quill and block. Yeah, also referred to as a guard. So a guard, quill and block, quillen, finial spacer. All right, so you've got your blade. I've just done a little habaki on this thing, like Japanese sword, fucking whatever. I don't know what you call that. This is just still part of the kaso. So now you decide whether you want a quill and block like that, which is just a straight. Right. Do I want just a straight one? Do I want one with a slight forward taper? Do I want one with a rounding? And then you've got 2. So there's the three basic variations on a rectangular quill and block. And then you've got 1 variation on the 3rd one with a fuller cut up onto it, and then a step down basis for a habaki, which is that there. Yeah, so that there. So that at least you've got the aspect ratio if you want to go and design forward onto this. In other words, then your ricasso, as you can see the little dotted lines, your ricasso will become longer so that you still have a 1, which is that square there, 10 millimeters by 10 millimeters by 10 millimeters, which is, if you go onto that, the Fibonacci sequence, the little spiral radius, a 1, a 1, 2. So that's a 10 by 10 by 20 by 30. The next one will be a 50. The next one will be an 80. Yeah. So that you still have the aspect ratio going forward in your ricasso. Yeah. Okay. So once you've decided on your blade, once you've decided on your Quill and Block, let's stick to the old-fashioned standard one there. You can then go on to Quillens. And this is where the system here is still, well, these are still a bit, oh my God, it's not ordered yet. So I've got one basic sheath shape, one basic, let's do this, one basic shape, all right, and so look at the outline shape. There's supposed to be a page before this saying, look, Quillen shape 1, so that there's just one outline shape and then different variations on that one freaking shape. Yeah. Once again, so this one here didn't have any finials, Quillen transitions. So this is just the Quillen block with just a little short transition on the side there. Let's do this one. So the flickering is from my large overhead lights. Let's do this. Maybe that'll work. No, that'll work. That's better. Okay, so got a Quillen. You've got one type of transition. All right, like I mentioned, there's different variations. On the last one, you can see that pretty much that's same. The only difference between this is the finial and that there. So it's only the lack of finial and finial difference, and then the transition from the Quillen block to there. Okay, so if you now go and have a look, there are in this, I think it's 40 different Quillens. If you then add the, I don't know how many fucking little transitions that I have, but let's just move on. So page 2 on Quillen designs, all of these now have transitions, and you can see I did, that's the same Quillen shape with 2 end out variations where it moves into the transition. All right, then I've got a second one, same, well, that one there, which is just that one there. Can you see this? I'm sorry. Which is that there with a additional detail on the transition. Then I've got this here, which is just that moved up, yeah, with different. So it's once again the first 2 just shown with 2 different transitions and then finial detail differences. So that's 2 overall shapes. Now we're moving on to a third overall shape. I should maybe do this and adjust the camera so that you can actually see and I can see so that I can stay in the picture. Yeah. See, this is where I actually need to get to the table, man. So this is the third Quillen set or design set, which is a round or a rectangular into a round, but that one is hollow. It's got facets, just rounding into a little traditional button, just completely round, longer, and even longer. Oh, a double transition, a single transition. Yeah. And all of these aspect ratio wise will work with anything. And then straight on Quillens, just a couple of different variations. So now you play with the single transition. Yeah. All of these I've got the double transition. When I say double transition, we'll get to what that means. Double transition, duplicate on the other side with a finial. And that is the same variation. Yeah. So on this, just a single side on one of these straight Quillens. I mean, 20 minutes, and I can do 40 of these things. So it all depends on how far you want to go into. So Quillen number 5 or shape number 5. single transition, 1.5 transition, a full transition. Yeah. Then a frog leg, which is just a variation on that there. Once again, a 1.5 or a 2.5 one. Going on, that's just another variation of this where that single long leg is longer. Now you've got that there with no quill and block, and I made this in a dagger a while ago. Then forward sweeping and or not, that is a solid ball going in, once again 3/4, and showing the difference between the standard quillen versus an extra length quillen. Moving on to more variations. And this one and the previous one is not the same, as the intention is on the cross section. If you have a look at that, intention is on the cross section. Yeah, so what this looks from the side is not even close. This here and all the others, you'll notice that there's a difference in all of these. And in some daggers, you'll find that something nips in a bit closer to the blade versus a bit further away from the blade. And there's actually a 5mm difference between that one and that one. It makes a hell of a difference in the design, whether you want a full transition coming into the Quill and Block or a stepped up 2-piece. More traditional, closer to the blade in main gouges. Yeah. Then we move into like really detailed ones. So going from a simple long over transition, which we had in the previous page, going into the batwing thing, inspired by, once again, this one down there, going into real complex transitions, taking this, and that is even set up even closer, but it's not perfectly straight because nothing needs to be straight. Then, so there's, I think it's 8 different Quillen shapes with at least 5 or 6 variations on each shape. Then Quillen transitions. There are 42 individual Quillen transitions that I have used and made in the past, and that's all of them there. Yeah, so that's one sheet, that's the second sheet. So just with this and all the Quillens, there's something like 5,500 different combinations that you can come up just for your crossguard. If we then go on to the next step on a dagger, would be that transition area here. So traditionally on daggers, 14th, 15th, 16th century, that would be a Turkish knot. Yeah, so that braided knot thing, and same thing on the back of the handle before you get the pommel. So those two identified areas, we call them front spaces and back spaces for the lack of creative terminologies. So there is 12 variations on the front spacer. Then, let's skip handles for now. The back spacer, there's another 12 variations. Pommels. So there is 24 pommels, and I think I've done another 24, or another, I rounded it up to, I think it was 48. Yeah, so another 24 pommels. So there's 48 pommels. Handle designs, and here I just stuck with the traditional round. Yeah, so there's the traditional round, number 1, variation. If I dip under, in other words, make it slower, make it as a recurve, you can see that, but now you need to take note that if you're doing recurve handles, like for instance this one here, which is a sweet freaking handle, so all the weight has sagged. So this is the male, right? All the weight has sagged. So it's an undercut. So if you want to do a wire inlay, this handle shape will not work because your wire will be suspended, as you can see based on the little transition. That one there, you'll still be safe. This one here, you will not be. This one will be safe. It's based on that one. So there's the best of between that one and this one, where from that, you can see the variation from the original to here. The hips are down, forward more, but you flat. So when you do a fluted handle on this shape, it'll work well. If you're going into the flats, and this is the ones that the guys normally, they would go and mill little sections in there, little dividing sections, but then you have just a standard 1 level up, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4 level up, which is obviously taking this thing complexity wise just fucking to the next level. And if you now go and you take this principle of leveling and you apply it to that handle, for instance, now you can get a flute that is leveled. Does that make sense? Then taking inspiration from great swords, there is another sheet that's not here that has got straight handles, straight, and then coming into flares and then variations like this type of thing. Yeah, variations away from the traditional. I want to say traditional handles, standard setup handles. It's not even in here yet. Okay, so that is the basic system. Yeah, it is extremely easy to then go and build a dagger. It is literally no fucking training whatsoever. This is it. Everything is to scale. Everything is easy. It works. Yeah. So let me just get that in. So that's the system. I've been using that on every single one. Let me just put the lights back on. I've been using that on every single one of my daggers since before the dawn of time. Hold on. Whoa! I'm fuck. Now you guys start talking. How's it going? Winter's coming. Dude, winter has already hit South Africa. But now I'm obviously blah, 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 blah. These guys are talking about the fucking weather. Fat needle files. Yeah, man, the fat needle files are pretty spendy. Sam, you should have talked to me, man. Don't buy expensive needle files. They, in general, don't outlast the cheap ones. Yeah, unless you go to a really fucking cheap brand, where if you break it off, you can see the heat treat on the thing is either overheated or blah blah blah. So when I buy a cheap needle file set, yeah, I would break it and then have a look at the heat treat. Obviously, go and use one on a carbon steel, a blade that's already been heat treated, and try to fucking break this thing, and then compare this to whatever else I have. Yeah, and that's how I came across these A files, and they really work well. And I'm not seeing a difference between these A files and the fat needle file set. Not at all. Not at all. Aside from the fat needle file set, the round is actually round. Yeah, the flat is actually flat. These are mass produced, so they're not perfectly round. They're not perfectly flat. But as soon as you know that and you realize that the fault is not the tool's fault, it is the operator's fault. And the operator needs to know what the tool does, how it works, what the perfect tool looks like, and what the scrap looks like. And then it doesn't matter what it looks like, you should still be able to get the surface conditioning that you're after. Hand skill. Practice, practice, practice. That's what I'm saying. Don't buy. For a lot of these things, the tool, upgrading the tool will not make you a better maker. If you guys understand what I'm saying. Going from a file that you're filing blades to a belt grinder immediately for the next year will make you a worse maker because you need to learn the belt grinder. Yeah. But if you can make the knife with a file and get the end result, that's what you're after. The hand skills. Yeah. So the belt grinder replacing the file is only the tool upgrade that you've done. That's it. It won't make the design of the knife any better. It won't make the finish on the knife any better. It won't all of a sudden take a R5 piece or a $5 piece of fucking scrap steel and turn it into a $200 piece of Damascus just because you, yeah. All right, but I digress. Yeah, but dude, everyone's hands cramp. Everyone. So what I suggest is, yeah, wrist exercises. And my wife is a jeweler, and they have specific wrist exercises and neck exercises and lower back exercises, warm-ups for when you actually go and sit and spend an entire day. But then obviously you need to train your body to do all these weird things. Mark, buddy, I am doing well, man. I am really doing well. Yeah, don't buy the fat fellas files, man. Look, it's a nice set. I've spent the money, and I've come to the conclusion that there's no real difference. Okay, so I'm just quickly scanning through. Adrian, have you based this dagger design on some historic versions? Adrian, you obviously don't know me well. Everything I do is based on historic. That's why my daggers don't look like anything else. Yeah. Well, there's a very small group of guys that base all their designs off of historic pieces, and that's why the geometries look good. That's why the handles don't look like anyone else's handles. If you go and have a look at modern knife making dagger designs, man, they're all a flat bar with a fucking tip on it. It looks like a broadsword that they've just scaled down. That's not what a dagger is. A dagger is the original everyday carry tactical knife. Yeah, to put it that bluntly. So whatever you guys are thinking of tactical knives, you've got it fucking all wrong. This is the original tactical knife. This thing had only one function, and that was to kill people. Nothing else. Not stabbing your steak, not ruining your pop. Nothing. It was to kill people. That's it. Daggers was made for that. Yeah. But anyway, so it's the problem with the world is that nobody is stabbing. Ignis, I just let the steel tell me what it wants to be. You just want to bite me. Yeah. If you follow that philosophy, I call you a Pokemon maker, because your knife will evolve on the anvil or on and the only fucking thing that evolves is a Pokemon. So draw the thing, make sure it looks beautiful on paper, and then make it done. That is easy as that. You don't go to an architect and say, hey, I want a house. Here's a crap house full of money. Build me something and I'll know I'll be happy. No. Same thing with a knife. Yeah. And once you've planned it, once you've sketched it, it takes you on average about 5 times shorter to make that knife. And if you don't believe me, if you're on YouTube, go and look through the 48-hour dagger build and then see what I built in 48 hours straight. Monday, 12 o'clock to Wednesday, 12 o'clock. Yeah. Not over a period of 48 hours scheduled through a couple of days, 48 hours straight. Yeah. On mine, it was 32 working hours on the dagger that I built. Go and have a look what can be done if you do proper planning on paper. And you don't change the plan as you're working. What else is there? Sam is saying, good night, Sam. Have a good one, buddy. Thanks, Robert. Sorry, man. I'm way behind on. Yeah, brother. The sheets will be going on for sale as soon as I've decided how I'm actually going to package that and what I'm going to include and exclude and. Because since printing the sheets that's now lying on the paper on the floor, like I said, I've added more pommels, more handle designs, more blah 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 blah. It's all basically based on this and 3 other daggers that I've been sketching. But those are the start of any sketch that I do. So I use those as basics. I literally trace them off using a light table, trace them off, and I've got that as a basis. Then I start my design, if that makes sense. I've never actually just built a knife based on those. That's just purely a starting point for me. Just because I know the aspect ratios are correct and everything is correct and everything looks beautiful on paper, it will work. Done. It's as easy as that. The Fibonacci sequence or principle or squares or circles or whatever you want to refer to it is just an aspect ratio. Yes, I've used it in every single design that I've pretty much done ever. Not just in knives. I'm talking about even business cards, letterheads. My fucking office layout is based on it. Everything. It is just something. If you pull out a credit card, yeah, the width versus the height, or the width versus the if you take the width of it versus the height of it is the Fibonacci sequence. It's easy as that. So how the Fibonacci sequence works is it starts at 0. Yeah, 0. And then the next number in the line is 1. 0 plus 1 equals the next one, which is 1. So you've got 0, 1, 1. Now you take the current one that you're on plus the previous number, which is 1 plus 1 equals 2, gives you the next number. Now you're working with 2. 2 plus the previous number is 1, will give you the next number, which is then 3. 3 plus the previous number, which is 2, gives you the next number, which is 5. 5 plus the previous number, which is 3, gives you the next number, which is 8. Yeah, so that's this Fibonacci sequence. And if you go on to 55, and you then work out the aspect ratio between 55 and the previous one, or 96 and the previous one, it gives you the golden ratio, which is 1.618, I think, which is pi. Yeah, done. So that's it. Yeah, so they're all interconnected. If you're going to have a look at YouTube channels and the whole works, they tell you that the Fibonacci sequence and the golden spiral was used in fucking Greek buildings and in the human face, and it's all assumption. Yeah, all assumption. In nature, yes, but it's all applied sciences. In other words, people see this, they came across this thing and then worked out spirals and the whole thing, and then all of a sudden realized, but hey, I could see this in a seashell. Yeah, so not the Fibonacci one, which is an assumed golden circle, but the actual golden circle. If you go and research, there's a difference between the golden circle and the Fibonacci circle. The Fibonacci circle spiral is a approximated golden circle. Yeah, the golden ratio. It's just easier to explain ratio using the Fibonacci sequence than it is using pi. Yeah, a load of people think pi. Yeah, you think pi and they can recite the code, but they've got no fucking clue how it works. Pi is also what you use to decide or to work out if I've got a piece of steel, thickness-wise, and I've got a wheel. How big of a plunge, how high can I grind up before I grind through the center? Yeah, so those grind height charts that you find all over the world, yeah, that was done with pi. And Pythagoras, it's his theorem. Science, ninjas, and shit. Well, science, math, and shit, yeah. So if you understand the principles behind something, it is easier to work with it and to avoid little issues, is the lesson you should take away from that. All right, but gentlemen, that was it. I've got no idea. It was been live for an hour and 29 minutes at the moment. Jack, yeah, man, it does sound very complicated, and that's why Mr. Derek Rush, Heaven Forge, KMTS, all of these guys give you this sheet, and it's go figure it out. Done. This is it. We've done the math for you. Just go and do it. But if you now have yourself a custom wheel made, say for instance a 30 mil diameter, which is not on the chart, how high do you know? Yeah, someone like Jack, Mr. Jack Commonen, yeah. This dude here, yeah. You go and have a look at his ratios. His razors. And then if you've got the experience, you can make it happen. It's as easy as that, man. You don't need to understand the ins and outs of it. What else is there? No. The learning, yes. Realizing that you don't know squat when you start making knives is what happens. Yeah. How does this work? Oh, fuck, that's Pythagoras. Yeah. Realizing how much knowledge a human being accumulates over, for instance, my 47 years, it is incredible. And then realizing that the more you know, the less you actually know is mind-boggling. Every single tier you hit. We talk about leveling up in knife making. And as soon as you reckon you work your ass off to get to that next level up to make your knives fit and finish better, or the design work, the balance between the blade and the handle work, blah 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 blah. As soon as you got that under the knee, and there's always something new that comes up, and you speak to another maker, and it's incredible. You will never, like I've said this in the past, knife making will teach you two things. Patience, number one. Patience. And then with that, a whole new set of swear words, man. An entire set of new swear words. This morning, I made up 2 new ones. They worked for me. Do I have quench oil? Yes, I've got fast quench oil in stock. Not fast, sorry, medium speed quench oil. So if you want to do 5160 or stainless, yes. If you want to do 1070 or 10 series steels, no. Unfortunately, I don't have any fast oils. Bye. Yeah, dude. And Sunette, my wife, we're in lockdown. Yeah, so I haven't left the farm. Well, in 2 months, I've actually left twice to go do a food run. But that's it. My wife, she's gotten hold of a garage pie. What else is there, man? Yeah, Jack is correct. Razors, there ain't no rules, man. And whatever you think about knife making, the rules are. That's amazing. As new knife makers, I don't know. The whole debate about freehand grinding and jig grinding. Yeah, I just think it's so fucking childish. If you battle with freehand grinding, build a fucking jig and grind. Get the knife out of the door. Learn the lesson. Get the knife out of the door. Make the money. Get the knife out of the door. Yeah, because the more time you spend behind the grinder, the better your grinds will be done. You are not going to be able to. You can only do like 20% of the grinds out there, different shapes on jigs. Now you get real expensive, real complicated jigs that can handle all 3 of the different planes for you and basically just stabilize. It's not a jig, it then becomes a stabilizing system. I've seen ones with gas shocks on them, and I've worked on one of those. It is absolutely fucking mind-blowing, the quality of grind you can do. But you're still doing a grind. You're still manipulating all 3 of those planes. It's just, there's a bit of a delay. If for instance, you all of a sudden get a shake, that shake doesn't translate onto the blade. That is probably what I'll end up using in another 4 or 5 years, by the way. But, I mean, there are some incredible things out there. Yeah? But the whole debate about, oh, I'm grinding freehand. I can grind fucking freehand. Convex, concave, daggers, flats, you fucking name it. Put it in front of me and I can grind it. Done. But I have spent thousands of hours over the last 11 and a bit years learning how to grind. I took an entire year's break from knife making purely to focus on how to grind, where I ground at least 3 hours a day, 7 days a fucking week for an entire year, just to be able to get my grinds speed and precision and quality up where I needed it before I went into production making. Yeah. And that's how I could produce 1,800, 1,900 blades in a year, only working six weeks and in 4 sessions of 6 weeks during an entire year. But that takes proper planning. And obviously I didn't do everything myself. I had 5 employees working for me while they do it, although I did all the grinding. Yeah. What drawing CAD do you use to create those drawings? I didn't use a CAD program. I used a program called Coral Draw. I've been working, as I mentioned, though, as a graphic designer. I started working on Coral Draw 1. So I have it. I own a legal copy. Humility, no. Humility has nothing to do with it, man. Nothing. Yeah. Humility in listening to what people are saying, but then being clever to distinguish between bullshit and actual knowledge. Yeah, as they say, knowledge is power. Bullshit. Knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power. Al, I'm sorry, brother. Myself and Al still need to get together for a couple of beers, and that's going to happen one day, man. MA Knife and Rods. Exactly, man. For $12, you can get a lot of files. Yeah. Ed, thanks, brother. See now. There we go. 12,000 hours, man. Or is that 120,000? 12,000? I don't know. Jack, I can't read that far. I don't have my glasses on, man. You will never know everything. That is it. That is it. Okay, so I'm going to call it there. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That was an hour and 37 minutes of actual work done and then a whole load of talking crap. Yeah. Thank you for joining me. And we'll catch you on the flip side. Yeah. No intro, no outro. This is just it. Me saying thank you for joining. Thank you for spending a bit of time in my world. Thank you for tuning in. And well, that's it. We'll catch you on the next one. If everything goes according to plan, we'll have next episode of Blade Talk tomorrow afternoon. Yeah. Gentlemen, ladies, have fun. Cheers.